Hello everyone. In this video we're going to continue our exploration of Capture One Pro 20. We're going to take a look at the user interface and we're going to take a look at the tools and the tool tabs. In its default view, and to determine that you're in that view, you would go to Window, Workplace, Default, and that's going to put our catalog on the left, our viewer for all of the images and photographs in our catalog on the right, and our large view of whatever image we've selected out of the viewer in the center. So again, it's broken down into 4 areas. At the top we have our toolbar. If we go left, this is where we have our tool tabs and our tools. In the center we have the image that we've selected, and on the right we have the viewer. One of the things to note about the viewer is that if you want to see all of your images at one time, you can go to the View pull-down menu and choose Viewer, and that'll uncheck it. Pick the image that you want to work with, go back to View, reselect it. So that's the layout of the user interface. Now let's go over to the left-hand side and take a look at these tool tabs. These little icons on the top here are all called tool tabs, and each one of them contains different sets of tools. The one we've got highlighted right now is the library. Now notice I left my cursor over there for a few seconds and it shows me the name of the tool tab. Now in the library, at the top of the catalog collection, you'll see all images. And if we look further down in folders, you can see the folder that these images are stored in. Down below this, we have filters that allow us to filter based on rating or color tag, date, keywords, a place, a location if you have that tagged on your photograph. So there's lots of things you can do here. This next one has to do with tethering your camera, and we're not going to go into that today. The next one over is the lens. This has to do with auto-correcting based upon the profile. If Capture One Pro has one, it will apply that correction to it. And then you've got the ability to make some choices about how much it applies of these different adjustments. We can also deal with purple fringing, cropping, keystoning. We can rotate and flip it. And we have some other areas that we can deal with as well. Moving over to the next tool tab. This is our color tool tab. And in here, we see our histogram, we see our layers, the base characteristics that have been applied to this image based on what it saw in the metadata. The white balance is set to as shot. Color balance, black and white, normalize, and color editor. Coming back up to the tool tabs, if we click on the next one, this is our exposure tool tab, and this is where we do most of our work in the beginning. Here we have our histogram, layers, white balance, exposure, high dynamic range adjustment, levels tool, curves, clarity, and vignetting. This is an important tab to learn and understand because this is where most of your adjustments are going to occur as you're working on an image. As we slide to the right, this is our details tool tab, and in here we have the ability to deal with sharpening, noise reduction if we want to add film grain, doing healing and spot removal, and working on removing moire if that's a problem in our image. As we go right, this tool tab has to do with styles and presets. If you've purchased styles with Capture One, then they'll show up here under User Styles. As we slide right, the eye icon has to do with metadata. This shows us all the metadata information that's available on the image. This section also deals with keywords and annotations. As we slide to the right again, this is another important area, and this section allows us to create recipes to output our photographs in different formats. Finally, we have the batch tool, and we're not going to explore that today. So there's a couple of things that I want to show you about how to work with these tool tabs. Let me show you how we can move a couple of the tools to the pinned area. This scrolling ability is new in Capture One Pro 20. We didn't used to have that. What used to happen is that they used to just collapse down like this, but now we have the ability to keep them all open and scroll down. But there might be a time where you want things always visible no matter where you are. So let's move white balance, exposure, high dynamic range, and levels into the pinned area. To do that, we go over to the three dots, click on them, choose Move Tool to Pinned Area. Notice how it is now staying solid no matter where I scroll the scrollable area. Let's do the same thing with exposure, high dynamic range, and levels. And as you can see, those stay locked in place. The next thing I want to show you is how to remove and add tools from a tool tab. So just as a way of example, I'm going to remove white balance. And to do that, I'm going to click on the three dots again, choose Remove Tool. Now to get it back, or to get back any tool that I want to have in this tool tab, I would right click over the tool tab area. I would choose Add Tool. And in this case, I'm going to come all the way to the bottom and choose white balance. It adds that to the bottom of the list. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and drag it up to the top. So that's how easy it is to reposition these tools within the tool tab. So there's a quick overview of the user interface for Capture One Pro 20 and a quick look at the tool tabs and some of the tools that we have available to us.